Good morning. I'm Stampin' Dee Dee with Stampin' Up here on the, I can't even think, our Thursday Facebook Live. I'm all flustered because my laptop upgraded, and I can't get in it now. I have to set a new password, and I tried to do that, and yeah, it wouldn't let me do it. So I'm using my husband's iPhone, which I'm not familiar with, and I don't know how to get it up. So I don't know how to bring it up. So anyway, I cannot see anything you're doing. I don't know who's on. I hope you are, because this is such an awesome card and I wanted to be able to share it with you. So I'm sorry that I cannot see any of your comments. And I don't even know if you, I'm glad it's not on me this time. I had decided not to do that. Okay, I just stood up, and it tells me that Kay is watching. Thank you, Kay. I'm glad you're watching. And if I stand up and look at my phone on the Archon, then I can see that you're watching. I'm not sure I can see comments. But anyway, let's get on with this. So much for technology. I don't know what the deal is. I reset the password 3 times. It sent me a verification code. I put it in and it wouldn't let me sign in. So I've got to have some time to fool with it. Kay, can you hear me okay? Would you just comment? I think I will. I'm standing up, and I think I'll be able to see your comments. So I need to know if you can hear me. So I see the good morning. If you'll just yes or no, or if you can't, yes, yay. Okay, then we're good to go. Here is the card, and I have to stand up to see if you can see it. Oh my goodness gracious, how am I going to do this? All right, so here's the card that we're going to make. Is that not the cutest thing? It opens there, and here, with happy birthday inside. Oops, but you've got to get these two flaps down first, and then that last one. So we're going to get started making this card. And on my blog, I will have all the dimensions. I'll have a photo of the card, and I'll have a link to this video. So if you want to go back, if you want to see the dimensions, you can go to my blog. And of course, you can always rewatch the dimensions as well. So the base is a piece of black cardstock, and it's just 5.5 by 4.25. All right. And then you have a basic white piece that is 5.25 by 3 7/8. 5.25 by 3 7/8. Let me see if I can see my post yet. I'm looking at my husband's phone. The problem is I don't know how to. No, I can't see myself on his phone. So if I knew how to to refresh it. Let me try this. Hold on a minute. Let me try this. Oh, I can. I can do that. Oh, but the sound. Hold on. I know I am taking way too much time with this, but okay. Okay. All right, let me stand this up. Let me stand it up so I can see it. Okay, here we go. All right, so I've told you about the black piece and the white piece, and then you're going to need a piece of designer series paper. And I'm using the Daffodil Afternoon, and it is paper that is free through the Sale-A-Bration. With every $50 order, you get a free gift, and this is one of the papers that is free. When you place a $50 order, you can choose the Daffodil Afternoon paper. And let's see, I've got my catalog here. Hold on. I was going to show you here's the Sale-A-Bration. And I was going to show you, here's the Daffodil Afternoon paper, and you can see the different papers offered. Here's the one we're using, this one right here. But the front and the back, front back, and they're just beautiful. So I wanted you to see that. So we're using the Daffodil Afternoon, and this is one of the papers that we'll use that will cut into flaps. And then we'll also use crushed curry. And this is 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we'll use it to cut into flaps too. And let me bring the card back in here so that you can see it. All right. So we're going to take this piece of cardstock. And remember, it is 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to bring in this, and we're going to score it 1/4 inch, which is right there. I'm measuring on this side, 1/4 inch. We're going to score it. So be sure and move your cutting blade away. And we're going to score it 1/4 inch. So you can see we have it scored right here, 1/4 inch. Now we're going to turn it 1/4 turn, and we're going to cut along this side, the 5 1/4 inch side. We're going to cut 2 1/8. So 2 1/8, and we're going to cut it. Let me see. And then again at 2 1/8, we're going to cut it. All right, and this is going to be, and it leaves us with a 1 inch piece. And these are our flaps that we'll be using. So we're going to set those aside. We're going to get our designer series paper now. And this is where you need to be careful, because this designer series paper has a direction. I want it to go this way on my card. And so we've got to watch how we cut it. Plus, I want it to fit together. So we can't do it exactly the way we did it on that one. So we're going to cut these at 1 7/8. So I'm going to do the bottom. Now I'm going to do the top at 1 7/8, right there. Okay. 1 7/8. And then I'm going to do the bottom at 1 7/8, but I'm going to turn it because I want the middle to match. See, I want the middle to match. So I can't do this at 1 7/8 because then I'd have my two big pieces matching and the middle piece wouldn't match. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to turn it and do it at 1 7/8. All right, now I have my top and my bottom piece, and this is my middle piece. But what I have discovered in making several of these is that leaves a 1-inch strip, and I need to cut that down just a little bit because I want it to fit inside the crushed curry 1-inch piece. So I'm just going to trim it down about 1/8 of an inch. All right, we still match here. There. We still match, and this is how it's going to go. So I'm going to set this right over here, and I'm going to move my trimmer away because I don't think I need it again. All right, so now we're going to take our 3 pieces of cardstock, and you see where I scored it. I'm going to fold those 3 pieces under on that score. And I'm going to get my bone folder and burnish them real good. I want them to lay flat. And this is how we're going to attach them. Score this one. Score this one. These are going to be the bottom two, the top and the bottom. And then we'll score this one. And this one is going to go this way. Now I'm going to get my white. Now I'm going to get my white piece of paper. And this is how we're going to fit this together. That one, the fold is there. This one, the fold is on the left. And this one, the fold is on the right again. Okay? So that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down, and I'll be putting my glue right along this edge and slipping it under all right. I'm going to move it. Nope, Deanna, not that way. Here we go. So I'm going to move it up to the edge. I'm going to make sure it's even at the top. And fold it under. I want it to be right at the top there. And I want it to be right along the edge. You see where I've done that? I've folded it under and glued it. And I'm going to do the bottom the same way. It's the inside edge. I don't want it on the outside. I'm going to put it right at the bottom. Right up against it. Make sure it's even. And fold it under. And just hold those for a second. Then this one, we're going to do on the opposite side. Come on. Come on, glue. There. Okay, we're going to do this one on the opposite side. And I'm going to fit it right in between those two. And I'm going to push it out just a little bit so that it'll be even with those. There we go. So now we have our 3 flaps. That one's going to open that way. This one will open that way. And this one will open that way. So now we're going to put our designer series paper on. I'm going to move this card away because I need to keep them in this order, and that's the only trick. Oh, that's not the right order. That must be it. There it is. I've actually put them on upside down, and you know what? It's okay. It's okay if that happens. All right, so this one is going to go right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. I'm using my liquid glue just because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And I need all the wiggle room I can get. I don't tend to get things straight, and so, especially looking from the side, but I think I got that one straight. All right, there we go. We got that one on. We're going to go on and put the middle piece on. And you know, once you do this a couple of times, it gets so easy. And you can use so many different papers. It's just, I love to use my designer series paper on things. And this allows you to do that. Let me open it up. Looks like I may have. Well, I may have pushed it down a little bit too far, and I'm not sure. I can move it up. You know what? It's okay, because we're going to cover that middle piece up anyway, pretty much. And then this is my last one. And I'm going to put it down. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, now we have our 3 pieces down. I think I've scooted my paper where you can barely see. All right, so now we are going to cut using our framed, oh, what are they called? Layering circle framelits. These are our layering circle framelits, and I love these because you can do so many different things with them. But I'm going to use them to put a scallop behind my circle. So I'm going to cut my circle from the white, and I'm just going to put it right here. And cut out my circle out of the basic white. And I'm going to show you in a minute. You can actually do anything on the front. I chose to do this, but you can do anything. And then I'm going to cut the black scallop. Put it on here. It barely fits on there, but it fits. All right. Here we go. All right. I've got our... Oh, we still have one more thing to cut, but we'll do that in a minute. All right. So I got my black scalloped piece cut. Throw that away. Put that over there. And I'm going to be positioning. I'm all cattywampus here now, aren't I? And I can't tell if I'm on the camera or not. Hopefully I am. All right, so I'm going to put my white piece right layered on top of my black scalloped piece. That should be enough. Okay. All right. And before I put it on here, I'm going to go ahead now and mount this piece onto the card base. This black piece is actually the card base. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Whoa, I tore my little yellow piece. I didn't mean to do that. This strong adhesive. All right. Now, you want to make sure you've got it all going the right way and not upside down. All right. It's going the right way. It's not upside down. There we go. Now, I've got this flap opening this way, this one opening this way, and this one opening this way. Okay? So now, all we lack is our daffodil for the center. And I'm going to cut that from a piece of, what did I do with it? I had it right here, a piece of white cardstock. Here it is. Just a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to stamp it. And this is from the Daffodil Daydream stamp set. It's just a single daffodil. I'm going to stamp it with Memento black ink. So I just tend to tap, tap, tap until I feel like I've got it good and colored, good and covered. And I'm going to stamp it on here. Okay. And then I'm going to use my blends to color it. And I'm using the dark and light So Saffron and the dark and light Green Olive. Or Old Olive. Oh my goodness. So I like to use the dark first and come in, and wherever I'm going to put my dark, if I'm going to put my dark at the bottom of the flower or the object, then I want to go on. If I'm going to put it around the edges, then I'll do that. But on this card, I'm doing it on the inside of the flower and on the bottom part of the flower. So I'm just coming along, and I'm going to put it on the lines and at the bottom. This doesn't require very much coloring, and I like that. Okay, I am going to go ahead and do the lines and do right along that curl there. All right, we've got the dark, and now I'm going to come back with the light. I did that with the pencil tip, and this time I'm going to do it with the brush tip because I'm just going to pull the color up is what I'm doing. And I'm not worried. I don't necessarily care if it gets all the way to the end. I don't feel that that's necessary, because when the light shines on flowers in real life, they're all different shades. Now, I'm going to come back again with my dark and just re-highlight it down here. Just give it another touch. And I think I'm going to, no, I'll leave it light. Sometimes if something is folded over, I'll go ahead and darken it. But that's really folded out, and the sun would be hitting it. And I'm just doing it a little more. I'm not doing it nearly as much as I did before. Just to smooth that out a little bit. So we've got our flower colored, and now Old Olive. I'm going to start, I'm just going to use, I think, the light. So we've got our leaves here. And this leaf belongs to that one. This one is turned. Okay. And then this leaf. All right, down to the end. And then I'm going to do the stem. You can tell that this one is the stem up to the flower. So I'm going to do it in the dark. I could have reversed it. I just want it to be, I want it to stand out a little bit. All right. So we've got that colored. And now we're going to cut it, put it on our layered circles, and put it on the card, and we're done. So let's get this cut. The die that's in the set works perfectly to cut out this flower, and I'm going to use a little piece of washi tape right here. Okay, we're ready to go. We're done. Get our washi tape off. And put it back on here so I can use it again. Put our die aside so I don't lose it. Put my scrap paper aside. Stick this aside. All right. Now we're ready to finish assembling our card. Really, all we have left is to put the daffodil, and I'm going to use dimensionals for that. And so, it's not all going to fit on here. So I want the flower to have dimensionals, and right in here, I need a dimensional and probably a mini, a couple of minis maybe, right there, and right there. And maybe right up here too, maybe right there. That should give it quite enough of a firm foundation. All right. I'm going to put that on here. There it is. And then I've got these are the 2020, 2022 in color enamel dots. So they'll be going away this year. But the colors, I love the colors. So we'll use that and just put one there and one there and one right up there. Remember, embellishments should be in odd numbers, and I usually just use 3, but you can use more, or you can just use 1. Sometimes I'll just use 1, but it should be in odd numbers, and if you use 3, they should form a triangle. That's just more pleasing to the eye. Okay, now I want to attach it to this center piece. So I'm going to pull it up, pull it over this way, and you don't want glue. You only want glue where it's going to attach. So right in the center, I'm going to put my glue. I'm going to put that down. Mash it. Make sure I don't have glue behind it. Mash it. Get my flaps down. And there we have it. There we have it. And see, it pops up like that. Isn't that great? Now, what I did was on the inside, since I don't have a greeting on the outside, I've got a happy birthday that I can put on the inside. And I'm going to hide it behind one of the large flaps. Now, here's my happy birthday. I'm going to put it right up here. And this flap will cover that up. This flap and this flap. There we go. Is that not an awesome card? I just love it. I just love it. So, there's that one. I did one other with the same designer series paper, but just a little bit different. I went ahead and put the sentiment on the front this time. So, and I added a little bit of ribbon, and this time I didn't put anything inside. So people can write and do what they want inside. All right, that is it. And I did not mount this one. I haven't mounted this one on the black piece yet. That's it. Our 3-flap fun fold card. 3-flap fun fold card. And for the directions, for the measurements, and a link, I'll also have a link to the YouTube video on scrapandddspot.blogspot.com. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sorry it was kind of disheveled, but you know, we made it work, didn't we? All right, you have a blessed weekend. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.